Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the hearUSout podcast. We are on our final episode for 2025. It's been a great year. We've had 8 months of podcasting, meeting new guests, having great conversations, and having fun along the way. So we're really glad that we can just end this year by having our final mini-sode. And yeah, let's get straight into it. We're going to reflect on the year that we've had and yeah, just have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, it has been quite a year, us starting a new venture, a new kind of initiative, and it's a joy to be able to step into something new, to be able to chart a new territory. And yeah, I think the first thing we want to do is just honor all of you who have been with us on this journey. We want to thank you. We want to appreciate you. We want to acknowledge the sacrifice of your time and your investment in listening and yeah, just journeying with us and all your support through some of the comments on social media and just engaging with the podcast more generally. We continue to endeavor to try to inform through this podcast, to be able to inspire, to be able to encourage, and to equip. So yeah, thank you. It's just a massive, massive, massive thank you to everyone who's yeah, subscribed, followed, shared on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and yeah, just supported us via various social media channels. So God bless you. So thank you so much, and yeah, we are looking forward to more of a journey with you guys.
Yeah. So, what we want to do for this episode is just talk about some of the highlights, some of the things that have stood out for us, what we might want to bring into the new year in 2026. So, Nessie, can I ask you, what's been a highlight of yours from doing this podcast, from hosting, or maybe something that one of the guests has shared with us? Can you tell us what one of your highlights has been?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of just from hosting, I mean, one of my highlight has been hosting with you actually, Paris. It's been
Oh,
so fun. It's been such a journey. It's been such a great way to just develop working together. It's been such a joy, honestly. Just having such an amazing co-host, such an yeah, dexterous, competent, excellent, and fun co-host. So it's been a huge joy. In terms of yeah, some of the takeaways that we've well, one takeaway or two, a couple of things that I suppose have really resonated with me was just the way that guests have shared some stories that have really inspired myself. I think of a couple, for example, Bella shared some stuff around how she opened up and was vulnerable with some young people, of course within context and with wisdom, but how that opened up stuff and showed them the humanity of a youth leader. Because yes, we're youth leaders, but we're human. You know, we are also navigating life and we don't have everything figured out. But it's good to journey with young people and show them that we are not kind of speaking down to you from all the experience and all the perfection, but we are also making decisions. We're also following Jesus, and we also need him to help us navigate stuff. So that's been awesome. A couple of things I remember, some great stories from Josh. Last podcast was
mm,
awesome. He had some really inspiring stories about how what prayer does. And then I think one particular story that really stuck out to me was actually from an episode with Kristen Stevenson, one of our mini-sodes, sorry. And she shared a story where she was talking to a youth leader who who basically wasn't able to engage with the question about the Bible, which wasn't one of these theological, huge kind of doctrinal issues, but was a basic kind of, it seemed, engagement with the gospel that this person seemed to, and this is no shade, but seemed to kind of pass on to another person and felt incompetent, couldn't engage with the question because perhaps they didn't think they had enough Bible knowledge or whatever it was. So it just highlighted to me that actually we need to have a basic Bible confidence, or at least to be confident enough to share the gospel with young people, to talk about Bible stories, to talk about what scriptures mean in the context of youth work. It's not saying we must all go to seminary or Bible theological school, whatever, but it's important for us to have a passion for the Bible, for young people to be able to catch on, um, to that. If we don't prioritize it or venerate it, then we can't expect the young people to do the same. So that's one of the takeaways for me. Yeah, I'm curious. What about you, Paris? What have you, what have been the
yeah.
highlights, things that you're thinking?
You've actually stolen one of mine, but I'll come back to it. But yeah, I would also
Okay.
say doing the podcast with you has been great. I think it's always exciting to start a new project and to work alongside new people and try and just develop something and get something off the ground. So I really appreciate the way that we've worked together. But from the podcast episodes, I'd say one of my favorites was Mike Palin from the
Yeah.
267 Project. Yeah, that was great. And I think it was a good reminder to kind of get out of your regular environment and go out into nature and just to have that time to experience new things, to have new conversations with people in a different environment. And you kind of just get a different perspective on life when you're outside, you're in God's nature, you're looking at new things and just, yeah, taking that time away to reconnect. So I think that's definitely something I want to take into 2026 for sure. And then, yeah, like you mentioned, our episode with Kristen from Bible Society, I think that was a really convicting episode. I think it's easy when we're in a Christian organization to think, oh, we're always engaging with faith and things like that. But to get back to the basics of sitting down, reading the word, and just learning from Jesus and all the other things that are in the Bible is so important. And yeah, it's a foundation for everything that we're doing. If we're not in our word, then what's it all for? Can we really be as efficient as we should be? So yeah, that's something that really stood out to me. And yeah, in 2026, I hope to find a new love for the word and the Bible and just bring that to future episodes as well. So yeah, that's my highlight. But altogether, I would say it's been a really great year. All the guests
Yeah.
and all the episodes, there's definitely been some gems to take away from them. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, yeah, I appreciate that, and I do think there is something special about getting back to the basics once in a while and just thinking,
Mm,
okay, yeah, we talk about various aspects of ministry and all, and especially youth ministry, but there are some things that are core fundamental that if we don't get down to as people who work with young people, it's just not going to fly.
yeah, exactly.
So on the back of that, Paris, I mean, we've had 2025. It's been, yeah, it's been quite something, and it's been exhilarating, and we've learned a lot. I think
Mm,
one of the things you discover as you launch into new things is you have a couple of successes, a couple of wins, but you also make a couple of mistakes. You learn,
yeah.
and you grow through that, and it's been a joy to do that. So in 2026, then, tell us, Paris, what can we expect from this podcast? What's up and coming?
Okay, well, we're going to be changing things up a little bit. I won't spoil
Okay.
everything. We're going to leave some things to be a surprise for January. But
Okay.
yes, one thing I will mention is that we're going to be having a name change. And that is
Wow.
in line with some of the things within our organization, within Urban Saints. But yes, we're going to be changing the name, and that I will reveal to you. So we're going to be moving from the hearUSout podcast to the Walk With Them podcast.
Okay.
And yeah, to basically explain that we are going on a journey and we're inviting people to walk with young people. And that's kind of the foundation of everything that we're going to be doing and talking about. And the foundation of our organization is walking with young people. So,
Okay.
yes, we think that's a fitting name. So, you can look forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. What else is going to be new that you might want to talk about? We're going to have some changes to our episode format. So do you want to talk us through that?
Yeah. So I mean, we've already started kind of
Teasing it.
yeah, kind of introducing this and kind of working with some of this. But really, what we're going to be doing in 2026 is kind of having two different formats that we're going to kind of work with in terms of allowing viewers and you guys to engage with us. So we're going to have our mini sodes, which some of you have already seen as they've started to come through towards the sort of last quarter of the year. So those are going to be shorter formats, and they're usually going to be geared towards delivering a specific or sharing a specific idea or just meditating on a specific aspect of youth ministry or something that is contemporary and just needs a little bit of coverage,
Yeah.
or just a specific idea really that we would just want to hone in on, but it's not going to be fully fledged as comprehensive or as the other episodes. So we're going to have mini sodes. There's going to be shorter and accessible for you guys, and the dream and the idea is if you're in a rush or you got 10 minutes or 5 minutes or max maybe 12 minutes or something like that, you can look forward to those shorter formats. So when you see a mini-sode coming out, you can think, oh, okay, I know that this is going to be short, sweet, I can engage with it. And then we're going to have our full-length episodes that are going to be considerably longer, from 30 minutes to about an hour plus. And those are the ones where we're going to have guests really, picking apart certain aspects of youth ministry. We want to continue to have people who are pioneering in their fields, who have expertise, and who have a comprehensive sort of grasp on a specific subject matter. So we want to be able to engage deeply with some of those topics. And that's what the full length episodes are going to be for. So you can look forward to those two different formats and engage with them as you see fit. So that's another exciting development. But that's not all, Paris, is it?
We of course want to invite more new guests on. I think one of the best things about the podcast is the types of guests that we've had on. And I'm just looking forward to opening up our platform again in 2026 to have various other people on. And yeah, like Nessie said, with our different episodes, our minisodes and our full-length ones, there's going to be so much great information that are going to be in both. So there's always going to be something that's valuable for you to listen to, even if it's a short 10 minutes or a longer episode with our guests. So that is very exciting. So definitely tune into that, share it with your networks. I'm sure there's going to be someone for everybody. So that's exciting.
As I may have mentioned, I think this podcast is there to kind of engage with as much as we can in terms of youth ministry. Youth ministry, or ministry in general, is varied. There's many aspects to consider. So we want to be able to engage with new guests, but also to cover some of the topics that are so germane and that are so topical in youth work. So we're looking forward to new guests and new topics as well, or at least new perspectives on pre-existing topics that are relevant to youth work. So absolutely.
So I guess to wrap up then, you said you had a Christmas question. So do you want to ask your Christmas question before we wrap up?
Yes. Well, I want to ask you a question, Paris. So it is the Christmas season. Yes, it's important to foreground that actually, at Christmas time as Christians, we are looking forward to just taking some time to meditate on the greatest gift of all time, which will always be the greatest gift of all time. And that is Jesus Christ and his birth. And it is a wonderful, wonderful story. And I feel like as a Christian, you almost have to say, actually, forget what you know, forget what you've seen. Don't just, regurgitate the nativity plays that you've been through, yesteryear or whatever, and position yourself again and receive him afresh and anew. So there's that. But there's also a whole host of, there's also a festive season around the Christian Christmas celebration. And I know people have, different perspectives on how commercialized it is and all that kind of stuff. And yes, we acknowledge that. Nevertheless, I want to ask you, Paris, do you have a favorite Christmas carol?
Yes, this is a great question. I love it.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it classed as a carol? Well, I guess. But mine is We Three Kings. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that song. I really like Christmas hymns and Christmas carols. But yeah, We Three Kings, that's mine. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one that goes, We Three Kings.
Yeah. And I guess I guess some people can sing it really drearily, but when you've got all the harmonies and
yes.
the instruments, it's really nice. And I just really like the words. So yeah, that's mine. What about you?
You know what? It's funny because someone asked me this question this morning actually, and I was thinking of. I have two. I have to give you two because it gives you the perspective. One of them is, okay, this is bad because I don't actually know the name. I just know. I think both of my carols or whatever. I just know the sound. So it's the one that goes to Bethlehem to see the
okay. I don't know the title of that one, but I do know
that one.
If anyone else knows, comment it.
Yeah. And then there's another one. God, I think this one was actually called "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen."
Yeah,
I think that one. Yeah. At least what, I've redeemed myself somewhat. Yeah. But I just love the way it starts. God rest ye merry. And I actually like the old, the old school version. I like it, so I'm looking forward to that. And and I hope you guys are looking forward to. And I know Christmas is not always it has different kind of colors. It's not
Yeah.
always something that, you're not always in a position to be, to be jovial. And we acknowledge that sometimes people are coming into Christmas with bereavement. Sometimes people are coming into Christmas with financial stress or whatever it is. But nevertheless, we thank God that at the end of the day, the Christmas message is, peace to
Yeah.
all you on whom his favor rests. So we hope that that will be your experience. And God bless you for, this Christmas season. Thank you for being part of this podcast for this year. And we look forward to seeing you next year.
Yeah, definitely. Have a very Merry Christmas, guys, and we'll see you next year. Bye.
Bye.